Howdy everyone, War starts to here, and today I'd like to introduce you to a new series of videos that I've been wanting to give a try for quite a while now, called Nostalgia Reviews. I've been so excited to do this, so I hope you'll enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy making them. In this series I'll go through nostalgic games, often from my childhood, and take a look back at them. I wanted to start this series a while ago, quite a while ago, but it was having some difficulty properly recording older games, but I've pretty much got that sorted out so far. So without further ado, let's start things off with a real good one, Star Wars Battlefront. No, not that awful garbage from EA released in 2015. The real Star Wars Battlefront. The one released in 2004 for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 2. I just like to start off by saying that this loading screen is so nostalgic. I haven't played this game in years, and especially since I've been playing Battlefront 2 a whole lot more over the years, I've missed hearing that sound so much. Anyways, this one is a real gem to me, as it was one of my favorite games to play back in the day. I never really got to play online with anyone, but I did get to play local multiplayer with my dad and brother, which I enjoyed doing. Unlike most modern shooters, this game wasn't a straight-up team deathmatch, instead opting for a capture the command post with a reinforcement system, which depletes each time a troop is killed or when one team has enough command posts that they're dominating the other team. Of course, this is instant action we're looking at right now, just battling across various locations from the Star Wars galaxy, but there's also the historic campaign spanning across the Clone Wars and Galactic Civil War, which I also enjoyed as well. There's just so many things this game did right. Seamless transitions from first person to third person mode, while both of them perfectly working together to fit your playstyle, also making it so that sometimes it's more comfortable to play as one or the other, which I love constantly switching between the two, using third person for going mobile and first person for firefights. There are also so many different ways you can play this game, creating endless amounts of replayability. You can hop into vehicles and have some vehicular combat, be it through the air or just on the ground, or you can just stick to the ground and engage enemies on foot. Speaking of vehicles, there are plenty of them featured across the maps, both land, air, living, mechanical, mobile, and stationary, all of which further expands the game's playing field. Speaking of vehicles, I used to love those twin pod cloud cars on Bespin. I played Bespin so much just to get my hands on those. I don't really know why. Maybe it was just because they stood out so much from the other vehicles in the game, but also AT-ATs or AT-ATs are so much fun. Whether you're flying around them as a rebel with the cables, or you're a stormtrooper shooting at all the incoming ships, this thing was fun to use, despite how slow it is. It's a walking command post too, so it's quite effective. While we're looking at HOTS still, I'd like to quickly point out how much I love the Rebel Bunker command post. Having a command post that isn't as simple as capturing, but rather destroying instead, was something new and so much fun. I just loved rushing to get in there as fast as I could to see how quickly I could destroy it and cripple the rebels' reinforcements. Also, I'm not sure if this is the first game or second game I used to do this in, but I used to always destroy the bunker, then switch sides to the rebels to see how long it took to repair it, which it took a very long time. Seriously, you'd be sitting there for what felt like the entire length of a battle just to get it back online. One thing to note about this game is that, unlike the second one, it doesn't have heroes. At least not playable ones. Those weren't introduced until Battlefront 2, of course. And while I can say, honestly, I enjoy the hell out of playing as heroes in the second game, I'd much like that the first Battlefront forces you to duke it out guns blazing instead. And it also puts everyone on the even playing field too. In fact, there were a lot of things I liked about the first game over the second one. One of those was how all the classes are available to select from the start. You don't have to unlock the bottom ones by earning score or kills like in the second one. I also just felt like that the classes played much better in the first game as well, but it could just be me. Back to heroes, I used to think there was no way to turn off heroes in the game, so even when there were no bots and I just explored maps, there was always the enemies Jedi or Sith, which I always avoided like the plague because there's just no defeating them. And they just ended up showing up, and I remember always being chased by Count Dooku. Of course, if it was on a map like Bespin platforms, I'd always try to blow them up over the side, which of course, even if I could, they'd always come back. On a side note, more so for the PC version, well, all for the PC version, one of the fun things that I liked to do, which was possible on Windows XP, was having secondary Windows accounts so I could alt them out, sign into another one, hop into the game on that one too, and basically pile a bunch of players into a LAN lobby. I used to mess around with my little brother at the time by doing this when he had bots turned off, just so we could explore the maps or go one-on-one. About the only negative thing I could say about this game is the second one approved upon, with some maps being more in favor of one side or the other, such as the CIS having easier access to certain midpoints due to being able to quickly push with droidicas and taking severe advantage of their damage absorbing shields as well, while other sides favor like the Republic, which can quickly capture command posts by starting with the jetpack. There are also maps like Kashyyyk that put the CIS at a disadvantage due to the water, which makes the Droideka AI repeatedly commit suicide by rolling under the water. Other than that, this game holds up pretty damn well today. It's graphically acceptable. More than graphically acceptable, it holds up perfectly. It controls incredibly well. It's definitely better than anything that EA has shot out or ever will shit out in the future. And the nice thing is, this game runs pretty well on Windows 10, so like me, you can even play this on modern PCs. Or if you still have an Xbox or PS2, you can play it on there as well. I believe the first game is not as expensive used as the second one, so you can go out and get it for not too expensive on those systems. But anyways, that was my brief sort of look back on Star Wars Battlefront. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll stick around as I have a massive list of nostalgic games to go through. Some of which you may have heard, of, and some that you might not have. If you like the video, let me know in the comments or leave a like. If there's anything you think I can improve with this series, let me know as well. This has been Warstarcy on the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.